Liverpool, what a season they had under Arne Slot. And then they're not resting on their laurels, are they? Already signing players, are expected to make a fourth and seemingly final offer to Bayer Leverkusen for Fabian Wirtz. Previous bid around £113 million in total. Leverkusen said to want 126. Let's get more on this story by saying good morning to the German football expert, Raphael Honigstein. Morning, Raph.
Good morning, Raph.
Good morning.
So, Raph, Fabian Wirtz to Liverpool, is it going to happen?
Yes, it is. It is definitely happening. They're just talking about the last few millions and the structure, but it is clear that Leverkusen and Liverpool will find an agreement. I think that was clear the moment Wirtz decided he's leaving. Leverkusen were prepared for that. They, of course, asked for big money, but Liverpool went into this knowingly that this is going to be a huge signing for them, probably a record signing for Liverpool. And they're getting a very, very exciting, still only 22-year-old player.
Raph, I'm going to ask you to get the crystal ball out, mate. First and foremost, do you think he'll be a good signing for Liverpool? Where will he play for Liverpool? And I want to ask you about the price tag. Is that a reasonable price tag, or is it, in a lot of occasions, a little bit over the top?
Well, I think it depends. If Liverpool get 10 years out of Fabian Wirtz, and I think there's a realistic chance that he might never move from there, then you can take that money and divide it by 10, and then it's going to look very, very reasonable. It is going to be huge money. I think it reflects the way that he is already a pretty accomplished player at a young age, and that there is a sense that he can still improve further. He will play as a number 10. That's the main reason Liverpool got him instead of Bayern, because Bayern couldn't quite promise that central position to him. They have Jamal Musiala, and they had maybe some more fluid ideas. Liverpool said, you're going to be the number 10, you're going to get the number 10 shirt, and we want you to play there. And that's why he signed for them. Now, will he be a success? I think he's got all the attributes to be a success. He is tenacious, but also super skillful on the ball, good between the lines. A cross between maybe sort of Kai Havertz and Joshua Kimmich. So brings the technique, the elegance, but also that kind of tenacity off the ball and great at pressing. So I think Liverpool, who very rarely get these transfers wrong, know what they're doing. And from a German perspective, it's no surprise that he commands that kind of fee, because Leverkusen have said all along, if this guy leaves, we're going to ask for mega bucks. You have to decide, you want to spend that money. Bayern were prepared to do it. And Liverpool, which, again, is a little bit unusual for them, but I think it reflects the conviction that he's going to be an absolute superstar.
Can I ask you a bit, Raph, about Jadon Sancho? Akin, I hope I've got that right, Akin, has texted in. There's speculation in the papers over here that Jadon Sancho might be off to Dortmund for a third spell. And Akin says if Sancho can get himself back to Dortmund and take the appropriate wage cut, he simply must. It's quite clear that at least there, Jadon knows what is required of him and is capable of producing it. He'd go back as one of the senior players. He needs the level of trust and responsibility that the yellow wall would give him and demand of him. Could you see a third spell for Sancho at Dortmund?
I think it's possible, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, Dortmund might sell Jamie Gittins, as you know, to the Premier League, so that would perhaps free up a spot for him. His second spell at Dortmund was okay, but wasn't quite the unqualified sort of sensation that we saw when he broke through initially. So I think Dortmund will be slightly reluctant to invest all that money, even though they might get him at a cut price and he might take smaller wages. I still think he probably doesn't reflect a lot of promise of improvement. You know what you're going to get with him, but Dortmund like to buy players, that improve and that can be sold on later down the line. So it would be slightly counterintuitive for them to do it. I think sounds to me more like if they cannot find the kind of guy that they really want. They went for Ryan Sharkey, for example, and look like they might be pipped to it by Man City. If they can't find the player they really want, they might go to Sancho as a sort of a backup plan, as they did when they got him back on loan a year or so ago. But I don't think it's necessarily the right move from a Dortmund perspective.
Raph, we're a national team at this moment in time. Obviously, a couple of defeats there. Portugal and France beat them 2-0 in the third and fourth playoff. It's a dream of a qualification group, to be brutally honest with you, for Germany, I think. But where are the national team at this moment in time, do you think?
It's a really tough question to answer because Germany had all this euphoria in a sense of being settled and knowing what they're doing, going out of the Euros. And now that kind of optimism has really dissipated after these two pretty painful defeats. It didn't help that key players were out, no Havertz, no Musiala, no Rüdiger at the back, no Schlotterbeck at the back. So Germany looked a little bit makeshift. And I think unlike France, unlike Portugal, maybe unlike England as well, Germany don't quite have the depth to compensate if 2 or 3 of these key players are out. I think this is a lesson that we have learned now. If you bring all these players back, I think we'll look much stronger. But as it was, Julian Nagelsmann tried to experiment a little bit, and I think it wasn't a big success. So he is, I don't want to say under pressure, but some of the huge optimism in that sense of Germany know what they're doing and we're going and we might be in for a chance with the World Cup, that has gone, and he needs to recreate that by really convincing World Cup qualifiers when they start back in September. So a little bit of a holding pattern for this Germany and lots of work still to be done.
Raph, thank you very much indeed. Have a great day.
Have a good day, mate.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.